Hey guys, it's Smurfs. Welcome back to my channel where I review horror books with a supernatural focus. Hey guys, it has been 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks since I last posted a video, and you're probably wondering what happened. If you've been following my Instagram or you're part of my Patreon, you pretty much have the lowdown and dirty about everything that was happening. And it was mostly me trying to get my visa, and I had been working on this for like 6 months. It had just been so difficult. Just so many obstacles, so many challenges, failures, humiliations, like just nothing working right up until the very end. It was mwah. But I am so happy to say that I got my visa so I can be here for another 3 years, and this means that I can prepare better. I've learned a lot. It was a horrible time. It honestly was. But here I am in this moment that I didn't think would be here with an Abominable box to unbox as my first video, kind of coming back. And it's not a goodbye video, which I thought it might have had to be. If I had gone back to the US, I wouldn't have had any time or energy or ability to make videos again, not for a while. And that made me extremely sad and unhappy because I've been working on this channel for like 5 years. But everything worked out well. This means I can celebrate with my favorite thing to do, which is the Abominable box, and that is what we're going to do today. Before we jump into the unboxing, if you would like to comment down below, let me know your thoughts on this box and the books and everything inside. And if you haven't subscribed yet, but you would like to get more videos from me about horror books and stuff like that, hit that subscribe button. Okay, so I decided to sit at the desk and do this today because sometimes it's just kind of nice to lay things out instead of putting them wherever. So as usual, this is what it looks like on the inside. Start with the beverages. It's not open. Amazing. This is the second time out of 100. I don't know. We have our Lions Percadilly number 4 coffee bag. PG and Tips signature off black wild at heart, strawberry and pink pepper, unsweetened cappuccino, and an instant hot chocolate from Cadbury. Let's try the treat. Ooh, it's a savory treat this time. This is crunchy snacking cheese, oven baked Italian cheese with caramelized onion. Let's give it a taste and see what it's like. The company is called Serious Pig, and he has a monocle. Smells very cheesy. Oh, they're very puffy. That's very the taste is very powerful. The onion comes through. It's sort of like a Funyuns, but a little bit more intense. Not my thing. Oh my god. Look at this.
What could it be?
I bet you this is a Stephen King book. This is the used book. It always comes wrapped like this in twine with a wax seal. Sometimes there's blood splatters. This time, no murders have occurred. So this is like one of the special attributes of the Abominable Book Club in the UK. They are a horror book subscription service that sometimes has thrillers in here as well. It comes with a used book that they source on their own, and also a new release, and then something extra. It could be another new book or magazine, ebook. Also comes with the treats and the snacks, 2 bookmarks, and a pin. And just for reference, this is the full guts box, which means that comes with all of the stuff I just mentioned, but you can also get a pared down version where it's just the books. It's a little cheaper. I see there's a pen, so I'm gonna take that out. Oh, that's so cute. Frankenstein. And I love the artwork on the back of the card. It's like a little laboratory. That is so cute. I love that. Their pen, I love their pens. Their pens are always awesome. Bookmarks here. But I also see a letter. Let's see what it says. Greetings, dear reader. First, I must thank you for approaching my debut novel, Everything the Darkness Eats. I guess we can go ahead and pull this out then. Eric LaRocca's Everything the Darkness Eats, with such thoughtfulness and care. I poured so much of my soul, my enchantments, my frustrations into this book when I wrote the very first draft in 2021. I suspect some readers might be curious to know why I chose to write something so decidedly bleak as my first foray into the realm of novel writing. More to the point, I presume some readers might be put off by the depictions of cruelty and suffering throughout Everything the Darkness Eats. Of course, these are natural responses, and I wholeheartedly welcome them. I grew up in a small, quiet town called Kent, a bucolic farm community nestled in the northwest hills of Connecticut. While I enjoyed a happy and healthy childhood, so much of my existence was isolated because of the rural community in which I lived. This isolation proved to be especially fruitful as I soon discovered my love of reading and writing. I devoured books written by Stephen King, Agatha Christie, Roald Dahl, etc. Still, the isolation I faced in childhood proved difficult to endure as I developed in my teen years and discovered more complexities about my identity and sexuality. Sometimes I look back on the young person I was while living in Kent and I feel such pity for that individual. So much of my existence was rooted in suffering, exquisitely pointless suffering. I'm afraid that's exactly what you'll find in Everything the Darkness Eats. Although most readers might crave explanations for violence or hatred, I regret to inform you that no such logic exists in the grim world I've conjured here. I suppose one of the first things I learned at a young age was how hate-filled some people are, how poisonous, how deadly some people prove to be with their destructive agendas. You'll find a world-spanning hatred flourishing at the center of this novel. This is a book about cruelty, about unbridled hatred, and how that loathing will threaten to devour everything in our lives if we are not careful. Obviously, some readers might detest the frankness in which I discuss some of these complications throughout the novel. I believe queer fiction is thriving at the moment with so many thought-provoking voices being brought to the table. More to the point, I think queer fiction, especially queer horror, should be unafraid to confront the harsh realities we face in our community. There are countless stories to be told. Of course, some stories are bleaker than others. Regardless, the kind of queer fiction that excites me is the confrontational, the provocative, the horrifying. I'm not foolish enough to expect that every reader will adore Everything the Darkness Eats. I realize that it's a divisive book. Regardless, I certainly hope the book will cause a reaction from you, dear reader. Whether that reaction is sadness, pity, or disgust, that's up to you. Your friend in darkness, Eric. What a great letter. I think the core of horror has always been to be confronted with the things that scare us and terrify us. I think that's kind of one of the things about horror that makes it powerful, especially when like maybe these darker experiences or stories don't really get told in maybe more mainstream books and things like that. So, not a great letter. So let's see what the premise is about this story. An insidious darkness threatens to devastate a rural New England community when occult forces are conjured and bigotry is left unrestrained. After a string of disappearances in a small Connecticut town, a grieving widower with a grim secret is drawn into a dangerous ritual of dark magic by a powerful and mysterious figure. Meanwhile, a member of local law enforcement tasked with uncovering who is responsible for the disappearances learns of a current of unbridled hatred simmering beneath the guise of the town's idyllic community, a hatred that will eventually burst and forever change the lives of those once found peace in the quiet town of Henley's Edge. I love small town stories. I come from it's not really a small town, but it's like, it definitely has small town mentality. Okay, let's get to the bookmarks. We always get 2 bookmarks. One is premium and one is a standard Abominable Book Club bookmark. This has the QR code on the front so we can, download and see what's on the spoiler card. And it always has a microfiction in the back. So let's give this one a read. It's Bookmark 11, Series 5. The old man tapped the keys on the piano and smiled. "That there," he said, "is the sound of perfection." "Yeah, it's good, man. Sounds wicked." "Wicked? Young man, this is Ludovico Moretti's personal piano. It has enthralled Carnegie Hall, the Royal Albert Hall, Teatro La Scala." "Don't know who that is, bruh. Where'd I put my stuff?" The old man sighed and showed Elijah to his desk. "You are to patrol once an hour. Check every room and every corner. These instruments are priceless, beyond irreplaceable." Elijah nodded and agreed, and the old man laughed. Elijah put his feet up on the desk, loaded up a grime playlist, and cranked up his Bluetooth speaker. The next morning, the old man returned to peace, quiet. "Elijah?" No answer. He walked to the grand piano and pressed a key. Nothing. He sighed and lifted the cover, knowing what he would find. Elijah was inside, the countless wires of the piano threaded through him, simmering with dark, red blood. "Ludovico, you must realize music has evolved." He closed the lid and addressed the empty room. "You will have to embrace it someday." That was pretty cute. I guess there was a music snob spirit haunting that piano. I don't know why I gave him a southern accent. That's just what happened. Let's not talk about it. Okay. Ooh, I love this bookmark. This is really spooky, really lovely. It has a bunch of specters on it. Oh my god, it's so cool. When the wake is popping off. And we also have the sticker. You probably recognize it. It looks like it might glow in the dark. I know who this is. I just can't think of it right now. The last thing in the box is something that we haven't seen in a really, really, really long time. It is Black Static magazine. I think that I'm not sure if this is what they've switched to now, where they're kind of combining two issues together and sort of making this booklet out of them. So here's what's going on in these two issues. I see there's something here. R is for Remains by Steve Rasnicktem, which I started reading a book of his, the hotel one. I don't know. I couldn't get into it. It could be that it was just like I wasn't in the mood for it, but I just really wasn't feeling it. This magazine is really cool because it has short stories and it also has film reviews and book reviews, things like that. Let's go ahead and set these to the side, our bookmark, and get to this maniac over here. What? I just can't believe the girth. Let's set it free. I have not been reading these last month or so. All right. 1, 2, 3. It's Stephen King. Of course it is. Under the Dome? I feel like I've never heard of that. The cover is sort of not really, it doesn't really look like a Stephen King novel, like at all. This was printed in 2010, a while ago already. I'm gonna have to fix all these pages in the back. Let's see what it's about. Oh my god, this book is 880 pages. All right, let's see what it's about. Under the Dome is the story of the small town of Chester Mill, Maine, which is inexplicably and suddenly sealed off from the rest of the world by an invisible force field. No one can get in and no one can get out. When food, electricity, and water run short, the normal rules of society are changed. As a new and more sinister social order develops, Dale Barbara, a young Iraq veteran, teams up with a handful of intrepid citizens to fight against the corruption that is sweeping through the town and try to discover the source of the dome before it is too late. You can already guess that it's not my thing. There's also a map here, Chester Mills, Maine, and it looks like it's kind of mapping out like one main road that goes through, I guess, like a little section of town. There's a road here called Little Bitch Road. Have you guys read this? Let me know what you thought about it. So let's check this QR code and see if there's anything cool we should know. It seems like this is the final issue of Black Static magazine. Oh no. And this was actually supposed to be a book, but that book got delayed, so we're gonna see that in the September box. It says, a bittersweet inclusion for us as this double issue of the seminal, influential horror fiction magazine will be its last. Black Static has existed for many years and has provided an outlet for some of horror's biggest modern names to hone their craft, some of whom have returned for this issue. Farewell, Black Static, from all of us at the Abominable Book Club, and thank you for going out with a bang. This is called Music Snob. I told you it was a music snob spirit living in the piano. Captain Howdy, and it does glow in the dark. So this was the August box. I really love the Black Static magazine. I'm very sad that they will not, this will be the final issue. Also, I am very interested in the Everything the Darkness Eats. I love the Frankenstein pen, and this bookmark is just literally so cool. So it was really fun to open up this box just for so many reasons. I'm just stoked. So I can't wait to see what we get in September. Curious about what that next book is going to be. And yeah. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today for this unboxing. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Other than that, please take care of yourselves, look out for each other, and I will talk to you next time.